Welcome back to another edition of All Chiefed Up, where we do Kansas City Chiefs news, analysis, and more. Today, we're going to give you the 5 keys to beating Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Mike, what's key number 1?
Key number 1 is Josh Allen. We need to stop Josh Allen, but not just passing the ball. The number 1 key is to prevent him creating with those legs. He is a big guy. The Buffalo Bills are ranked number 4 in team rushing, and we know it's not because of their running backs. It's Josh Allen and his legs and his ability to get out of the pocket and scramble and keep the play moving. We have got to spy him. We have got to stop him, especially on key situational times, like third down. That's a big one. Like, don't let him extend drives.
Nick Bolton needs to keep an eye on him big time. I think that's a big key in the game. There's going to be a lot of designed run plays to Josh Allen. You know that already. Like you said, the running backs are not that scary. Not a big deal. I feel like Singletary normally has a pretty decent day against the Chiefs, but I'm not too worried about that. We're worried about Josh Allen creating with his legs. And like you said, we got to watch on those third and longs and stuff like that. We can't let the field get too spread out and him be able to run for the first down all the time. Gonna have to keep an eye on him with a linebacker.
Yeah, so when Josh Allen actually sits in the pocket, he gets rid of the ball pretty quick. He averages 2.67 seconds. There's only a few guys faster than him. That's Brady, Garoppolo, which are cut from the same cloth. Cooper Rush, who's had a lot of success. Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Burrow, and Davis Mills. Those are the only ones faster than him getting rid of the ball. So as long as you don't let him, if he knows where he wants to throw it, it comes out quick. If you let him create, he'll beat you with his feet. We got to stop that, man. As simple as that.
Key number 2 to beating the Buffalo Bills is going to be to attack the young secondary that they have. Mike, they're not that impressive, are they?
No, they do allow a lot of catches. They're tough to get open on, but at the same time, they're not the quickest. Kyer Elam, first-round pick. A lot of teams weren't looking at him because he wasn't too fluid in the hips. He wasn't as fast. They got Taron Johnson, a nickel corner. He allows a lot of catches. Dane Jackson, pretty good, but he's been battling some injuries. He's actually missed some games. They did have Tre'Davious White, who had an ACL tear last Thanksgiving. He actually practiced this week. I don't think he'll be in playing against the Chiefs. I think they're going to not try to rush him in or anything. But yeah, we got to get after that young secondary. Mahomes isn't afraid to throw at him. We've seen that last year. It took 13 seconds to march down the field. So nothing's really changed there. We got to keep attacking them. Out of their top 10 tacklers on defense, 6 of them are from their secondary. So they do allow a lot of catches, and then they have to tackle. Their defensive line don't get a lot of stops. Only 1 out of their top 10 tacklers are from the defensive line, and that's Greg Rousseau.
Key number 3 is going to be to establish that run game. We've said it over and over and over again, and we saw it against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we saw how effective it is. But in particular, I think they got to get Pacheco more touches this game. The way he runs, full power, full speed, I think it'd be great against this defense. So what do you think, Mike?
Yeah, the run game's vital. I know we keep saying this, but we showed you in yesterday's video that the offensive line is full of road graders. And yes, you say, oh, Buffalo's got a good run defense. They average 85 yards per game is what they give up on the ground. That was about the exact same as the Buccaneers, and we marched down the field and beat the crap out of them all day long, beat them in the trenches. It can be done. We do have to get Pacheco more involved. He only had 1 more carry than I did against Las Vegas. You can't be having that. He's got to get more involved. We see what this offense looked like and how we kind of struggled to get things going against Vegas. It took us almost a full game to get in it, whereas Tampa Bay, we come out, develop the run, put it down their throats, and you've seen how effective we were. Our offense looked totally different.
Yeah, and like in key number 2, we said they need to attack the young secondary. If we have a good running game going, it's going to be easier for Mahomes to do just that. I mean, he's got great targets out there. MVS looked really good last week. Juju looked good last week. Skyy Moore, which we're going to talk about in a minute, he had some good plays. I mean, if we can get that run game established, Mahomes should have a field day with those guys.
Got to get that run game established because the most important thing with that is you're going to slow down those pass rushers. You're going to slow down Von Miller and Greg Rousseau, Boogie Basham, Espinosa, the kid from Iowa. Those guys can get after the quarterback, but a running game is going to slow them down and not allow them to pin their ears back and get after us.
Key number 4 to beating the Buffalo Bills is going to be to eliminate the big plays. Buffalo is super aggressive. They like to get out and throw the ball down the field. You saw last week they had a 90-plus yard touchdown to Gabe Davis, another 50-yard-plus touchdown to Gabe Davis. You see them throw the ball up to Stephon Diggs all the time. Josh Allen's going to float that ball out there and give his playmakers a chance to make these plays. We have to really keep those safeties back there blanketing because these corners are going to have to play tough, physical, and tight to prevent this. And we really need even the linebackers, like we were talking about earlier, they got to spy Josh Allen and make sure he's not getting that run play because we're going to need those safeties in the back.
Yeah, I don't think the safeties can come up into the box here a lot. I don't think you can put Reed, shadowing Josh Allen. You're going to need him on the back end because they do take a lot of shots. I think this is going to be big for our linebackers. Maybe Leo comes out. We can have a Leo Chanel coming out party and he can just knock Josh Allen out into next week. I don't know. But yeah, we all know Josh Allen, man. He's a chuck and luck. He's a spray and pray kind of guy. He just goes back there and launches it. And like their receivers are used to tight play and contested catches. Stephon Diggs only gets 3 yards of separation per play. Davis, 2.6 yards. That's not that great in comparison to other receivers. Jefferson in Minnesota gets almost 4 yards of separation. Cooper Kupp gets 3.5 yards. So they're used to contested catches. Their catch percentages, Diggs, 75%, even with a guy all over him. Davis, not so hot there. You can get Davis, you can get in his head. His catch percentage only 55%. He flourishes more on the deep ball and getting over the top and that luckiness. Yards after the catch, Diggs not that great. He's only about 4, but Davis actually leads the league. Actually, he's number 4 in the league behind Dallas Goedert, Deebo Samuels, and Rashad Bateman on yards after the catch. He averages almost 9 yards after the catch, probably because he keeps catching those long balls. I think it was a 98-yard one against Pittsburgh last week. But yeah, you got to get to him. You got to make them, contested catch, hit them, and umbrella them safeties, man. Don't get them down in the box and leave these corners on an island.
Yeah, the defensive game plan is going to be huge because we're going to need a good game from our front four. We're going to need pressure from Chris Jones, Karlaftis, Frank Clark if he gets better and he's playing. We're going to need these guys to really get after Josh Allen when they can because we can't be blitzing like crazy like we have been. Spagnuolo's been blitzing. It's been very effective so far, but it will not be effective against the Bills because you're going to open yourself up for way too much. Got to keep those safeties back. We got to make sure that these guys aren't blowing any coverages because if they make one little mistake, Buffalo will exploit it and they will score. So they've got to be on their A game, man. And I just think that the defensive scheme might look a little bit different than it has the last couple of weeks. Shouldn't be blitzing as much, and we should have those safeties back a little further.
Right. A good thing here is I think McDuffie has been practicing a little bit. He should be playing this week. It's going to be good to have McDuffie back. They don't usually throw to McDuffie very much. He's all over people like white on rice. It's going to be a good game if McDuffie can stay healthy and get back off that injury.
Buffalo don't have a good taste in their mouth about McDuffie either because they ended up having to take Kyrie Elam instead.
That was a good story. That was
yeah,
a good
the Chiefs
story.
trading up in front of them to take McDuffie was good stuff. So let's move on to the fifth key.
Okay, the fifth key is going to be to get Skyy involved more. Do you like that pun? Skyy involved more. Skyy is not he's not being able to get into this offense. They're not integrating him. I know Andy Reid doesn't like to play young rookie wide receivers. It's a hard playbook to learn. It's hard to develop that chemistry. But Skyy's looked good when he's been out there. He's had 8 targets. That's it. Just 8 targets. That's number 106 in the entire league on 35 routes ran. It's been 5 weeks. He's ran 35 routes. That's number 124 in the NFL. That's not that good. You got to get Skyy in there more. He's caught everything thrown at him. 100% true catch rate. There's only been 3 he hasn't caught, and those were uncatchable balls, according to all the data, uncatchable balls. So the stat I really like with Skyy Moore is he has 52 yak yards. That's number 67 in all of football, and he's only had 5 catches. So, I mean, that's pretty good. That shows just how quick and elusive he is, what he can do with creating. He gets 2 yards of separation every time he's lined up man-to-man on someone. This kid can play. We got to get him involved more.
Yeah, well, that was the big thing about Skyy Moore when he was coming out in the draft was this kid has an amazing ability to get yards after the catch. He's fast, he's quick, in small spaces. He can make people miss. I think in college football last year, he was one of the top in yak in the entire college football, and he makes people miss tackles like crazy. I think he might have been the one that made people miss the most tackles as well. That's what this kid's good at. Andy Reid kind of showed a little glimpse of what he can do, and I think they need to use him just like they used him. Get him the ball, let him create, let him make plays. He's going to get you some yardage, and those plays, they're going to be 6 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, but there's always that chance that he's going to bust one open and could maybe get a big play out of it.
Right. Just the fact that I just said he's had 5 catches. That's it. 5 catches, and he's number 67 in all the NFL on yak yards. That's insane. Like, could you imagine if his kid's got 18 catches by now, 20 catches, how high he'd be? We've got to get him involved. Excuses out the window here. We've got to get Skyy Moore involved.
Yeah, and the sure hands is just another thing. If you know someone's going to catch the ball when you throw it to them, it's good to have that comfort out there on the field for Mahomes. That way, if it comes up, it's a tight play, it's a big play, it's a third down. You got that option on the field. You know, if you get it in his range, he's going to catch the ball.
Yeah, with those limited targets, he's showing a 68% reliability rate. 70% is counted as elite. So this dude is almost at the elite level already, and he's been thrown at 8 times. I mean, we've got to get him the ball. I can't say it enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's been slow enough. It's time to get it going. It's time to get him involved in this offense and maybe take it to the next level. So that's just where I'm at with it. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and hitting that bell. An extra key to this game is going to be the offensive line play. It always is, but we always say it. But we did a full video on the offensive line play yesterday. You can check that out right here. Make sure to do that. And we appreciate you guys. We will see you next time.
See you guys. Let's beat the Bills.
Go Chiefs.
Cause aside from my soul